And he's like 240 pounds too. So like it's once, and people say, like, oh, well, my program works and stuff like that. I'm like, how do you know something else would have worked way better?
That's true.
Yeah, because everyone will say, well, because it's very hard for people to let go when it comes to training, because it's the thing we protect the most. And I do it too. I love my training. I love doing it. And I'm not here to change anyone's minds. I'm here to hopefully bust through a lot of stuff that's holding you back in terms of being a beast and really pushing some insane human potential.
Well, there you have it. I got to go out for a run now. So
I'm telling you, you need to do the test.
I'm going to.
It's so humbling.
I'm gonna go do I'm gonna go out and run. Well, one, I'm gonna try the talk test because I haven't done that, but I also have heart rate monitors and stuff like that. But then I'm going to try go out and I'll do it. I'll do a mile run with unimpeded, breathing, nose breathing, mouth breathing. And then tomorrow later on this week, I'm going to do the water in the mouth. It's going to be humbling.
It is so frustrating. And it's to show people, hey, like, unless you came from the endurance world background, see that's my story is I come from the endurance world. I wasn't deadlifting and squatting when I was with USA Cycling. I got into that stuff like way late into my career as a strength coach and trainer. So but a lot of people coming into special tactics, special warfare, their background is maybe football. So they have been lifting weights. They've been doing the intensity. And then they're like, now I've got to learn how to fit and swim. So for arguably, most people are going to be deficient in their aerobic base and capacity. They're going to have poor delivery of oxygen to the tissues. They're going to be doing too much high intensity. And the funny thing is, when people think like you're doing too much high intensity, they think like, oh my gosh, you're going to ruin my training. Okay, if you want a high intensity workout, I'll give you an example of one. So here's an example of a high intensity workout. Ready? You're going to run a 5K as fast as possible. All right. Every odd minute, so that's minutes 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, you're going to get down. You're going to do 15 burpees. And then after 15 burpees, you're going to sprint as hard as you can for 30 seconds and then continue to run as hard as you can until the next odd minute and complete a 5K.
That'll take that's awful.
So when the 5K is done, you're done. So think about that. Say I did that, and that was on a Wednesday. And that was my one high intensity workout for the week. Now I would probably I normally pick 2 days and I fire my high intensity bullets in my cardiovascular training and running twice. I have 2 sessions. One often is a track session to get my running speed up, and the other is normally like a hill interval. But so imagine that. See, when it's time to go hard, people are like, uh-oh.
That's heinous.
They want that comfortable hard. That'll put you in zone 4 right away.
Yeah.
So here's another example. So ready? You have a 40-pound sandbag. You do 5 minutes of lunge jumps to the point where your legs cannot move, and then you run a mile as fast as you can. So once again, what's the total time there? 15 minutes? So think about if I do 10 hours of cardio in the week and I did that once, imagine how hard that is. Freaking hard.
Yeah.
But I could still do 90% of my cardio at low intensity, and I'm still going to be a monster. See, do you see how if hard's hard, it's hard. And hard can be hard when easy is easy. But as easy as medium hard, then you don't have enough energy to go hard.
Yeah. You said it earlier, there's a nice balance between, conditioning and being a monster, and also the community aspect of it where everybody's doing a hard workout, the mental challenge of it. Okay. So that every odd do 15 burpees and then a sprint, that's a grind. That's a mental, just hey man, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, that one is that it's devastating. So like high intensity is freaking awesome. There are amazing benefits, but what we do is I think we justify it. We know that we need more of the other side, kind of like with strength training, right? So with strength training, which we won't get into today, but it's kind of the same thing. I think people don't realize how little it takes to get strong.
Oh, I'm sure that's true.
But with how badass we are and with how fit we are, it takes a lot to get tired. And if my goal is to get tired, well, then it's going to take a lot of exercises and a lot of that to get tired. So remember, my measure of success running is not failure. It's not fatigue. If I got done with a run, I'm like, wow, I'm tired, but I didn't do what I was trying to do physiologically. It doesn't matter. There's lots of people that get tired every day. They're not fast. They're not fast. Just like the person who does all the work for that math equation, hits enter, and they're like, look, I got an answer. And the math teacher's like, you're not even remotely close. So just because you get an answer, which is sweaty, tired, sore, or high heart rate, or good time, doesn't mean like, yes, you'll improve to a certain point, but we know we're not talking about just being average on this podcast, right? This is not about like, hey, here's 7 tips to like lose 20 pounds and be healthy. We're talking about being the elite of the elite of the elite. So I'm holding the people listening to the highest standard. So we've got to have higher level conversations than, oh, just work out consistently.
Yeah.
Or or just crush it all the time. Well, I understand everyone is probably going to be able to crush it, push through pain, challenge themselves, get after it with the boys. So I'm already assuming that's going on. I'm saying, what if we did that more intelligently in a way where you actually get the result you want to, but without all the negative stuff? See, we're just dropping all the bullshit and getting rid of a lot of injuries, pain, problems, and also think about extending the longevity.
Yeah. And somebody at my age doing this so long, longevity is key, because eventually I got to take this uniform off, and I still want to, like, I don't want to turn into somebody that I don't want to be, like, you know what I mean? Like, and you see it a lot, and it's oftentimes and in fact, more often than not, it is not because of the uniform is off. It is because, like, it is, if people aren't aware of this, like, this job is tough on the body. It is very tough on the body. And then you throw in deployments with injuries and jumping accidents or whatever. So longevity is key. So I think you nailed it. And